Go ahead, you guys.
At the end of last season, when we were talking about kind of the Flames' inability to kind of stay in some of those tight games, Milan Lucic talked about how a lot of it was between the ears. What have you seen from your team just in terms of mental development to prepare for those 1-0 style playoff games?
I think we've played a lot of close, one-goal games this year. I think what the progression would be that you're either down one, up one, or tied, right? And to play the same game. That's what's important. That's something that our team has been really good at.
Looking at game one and some of the shot charts, they didn't have a ton of offense right in front of the net. They didn't have a ton of slot shots. What was it that you guys were able to do to keep them to the perimeter?
Well, first off, it was even. We didn't either. I mean, there's one goal scored, and then none scored 5-5 or 4-4, so there wasn't much either way. So guaranteed both coaching staffs will be talking about both those things, about the areas where you got to get more from.
Was it a combination of like both teams, maybe like their defensive play, but also players just not getting into the hard
I think
areas?
there was different. The way the game was played, the first period, I think, was obviously I thought we had the edge in the second period. I think they did, but then I think there was 5 penalties in a row in the second period that kind of took everything away, and then the third period was it's a one-goal game, so they're trying to get what they can, and we're trying to basically play in their zone if we can.
What did you think the value of that Lewis, Lucic, Ritchie line was in terms of sort of setting a physical?
Everybody's got to do it. I mean, that's what it's about. I mean, it's not about the value. If they want to play, that's how they got to play. You got to stay out of the penalty box while you do it.
Did you like the physical tone that line set?
Yeah, I was asked yesterday, and I said that.
We already talked a bit about Noah Hannafin and the way that him and everyone else stepped up on the blue line with Raz out, but what specifically did you like from the line game?
Good, solid minutes. Good first pass. Good coverage. I think him and Heiskanen for them played real similar games if you look at it. Which I'm sure what they want, and that's what we want. Those young guys got to play big minutes, and especially 5-5.
Joe Pavelski's only been held to 0 shots 8 times this season, 16 times in the playoffs. He didn't have any run. Is that obviously what you guys want out of that?
Well, I think a big part of players, the offensive players, big part of their games are power plays, because there's not a whole lot goes on. 5-5, if your teams are, Dallas doesn't give up much 5-5 if you look at it, and we don't do it either. So that means that there's guys that aren't going to get many shots. I mean, but that'd be like talking like Tyler Toffoli for our team. Those guys only need 1 or 2 shots. That's their games. So a lot of that is power play. So. I mean, very, very clearly, history lesson from last night. Again, teams that tied series up, or teams that went down they went down 0-2. Teams that tied it up took 1 fewer penalty, scored 1 more power play goal. Team that didn't took more penalties, got more power play goals scored against them. It's a series. That's what's happening. I mean, there's a third more penalties being called.
Do you see room for improvement on your power play? You guys won the special teams battle, but
We had lots of shots, and we scored on 1. So, I mean, if you say there's not room for improvement, then you're kind of okay is okay, and that's not going to win you many games.
All good here?
Good enough?
This one? Yeah.
Good.
Get Rick and Greg and
Downhill.
Go ahead, questions from the players?
Dylan, how would you describe your first Stanley Cup playoff experience with people there to make some noise in the stands?
Yeah, it was exciting. There was a lot of energy in the building. You feed off of it. Felt a lot better with the win for sure, and the Saladome was rocking.
I know when we chatted after you guys quit, you talked about how everything's sort of different, like even the drive to the rink is different in the playoffs. Did it feel that way on Tuesday?
Yeah, it was a stressful drive. It took a lot longer than normal. The windows were down. I was sweating a little bit. So the city's packed right now. It's awesome to see. It's you feel that going to the rink and feel the city backing us. So it's definitely try and take that into games.
Saw a lot of red on the commute.
I did. Yes. Yeah. It was good to see. Obviously driving through downtown to get here, it's awesome to see that, and you feed off of it.
Was your drive okay?
Yeah, it was a little longer too. But yeah, I had the same thing going on. I don't think it matters whether it's your first time in the playoffs or your 11th time in the playoffs. I still had the nerves and the sweats going on the drive here as well. So I think it's a great feeling to have. It means you're excited, you're ready to go, and we're gonna need a lot of motion again here tonight.
Did you see when you were driving in that sign that said, "If you shoulder check, Milan Lucic will too"?
I actually didn't see it in person. I saw it on Instagram there. That's why I reposted it. I thought it was a great sign, a funny sign. That's why I decided to reshare it.
Milan, do you, after a game that was so close like Tuesday night, do you expect anything different or subtle differences from Dallas tonight?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, whenever you lose a game in a series, your main focus is to bounce back as an individual and as a team, and we know that they're going to be better, so that means we need to be better, and we did some good things in game one, and we need to do that again in game two. But what happened in game one, happened in game one. Game two is a new game, new storyline, new everything. So our preparation's got to go up a level to make sure, that we're giving ourselves the best chance to have success.
When you see Milan's line out there crashing, banging, and kind of giving you guys a little bit more room, like, what does that do for you going out there? Make you feel a little bit bigger? Or?
Yeah, I think it's good. They're flying out there. It's good to see, and they had the crowd's usually on their feet when they get off the ice. They're hitting a lot. They had a lot of ozone time, and they played well for us last game, so it's good to see. And if you change after them, it builds your shift for sure.
As a veteran guy, when do you expect to see that reset that you just talked about in terms of, okay, that game's done, no matter how it ended, on to the next one?
Well, it starts this morning, with the way, you prepare for the game, the meetings that you have and all that type of stuff, and just, talking about mindset and all that type of that goes into into a series on a game-to-game basis. And you saw, the teams that bounced back last night to even up the series, and they were all ready to go and ready to play to get themselves back in the series. And like I said, Dallas is a veteran team that's got a lot of playoff experience, and they're a team with a lot of players with a lot of pride. So they're going to be they're going to up their game. And like I said, that's what we need to do as well. Is like I said, it goes into the preparation this morning that carries out throughout the day to make sure that we bring our A game here tonight, because we're going to need it.
Maybe sorry, go for it.
You've been here a couple of years now. There's all sorts of talk about how this team's evolved mentally and culture-wise. Just in those 1-0 games, how have you noticed any differences between how you handled, say, game one versus maybe earlier times when you were in similar games over here?
Well, the one thing, that I've always kind of said and been taught is when you're in those situations, you still play to win. You don't play not to lose. And, that's a type of mentality that you have. So, when you're up a goal or anything like that, you're just making good, hard, strong, simple plays and trying to play in the ozone more than anything. And you saw what Matt did. with Lindy winning the face-off and him just grinding it down low just to run the clock out. Those are things, playing to win. So just having those, having those big plays made by, everyone on the team is one of those things like I talk about playing to win.
Do you guys prepare at all to be ready for the Klingberg? We're going to go after him with Rasmus, or is that just something you let them focus on that and you'll?
No.
Dylan, have you ever been to a playoff game in this building as a fan?
No, I never was able to. So, I grew up. I couldn't get out here, so it's cool playing in it. My family's here watching it this time, so it's pretty cool.
Dylan, how did you, I know that the whole team was really physical in game one. How did you feel the group or even yourself individually found the balance of bringing that physical side but not going over the line with the way the game was called?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I think, first period we came out really hard, and then, that's kind of the game. You come out really hot, especially the crowd and everything, and I think we need to keep that first period and build off that. But I think, throughout the game we kept it going. We kept our physicality up with staying in the lines, but, it can always get better. And like Milan's been saying this time, they're going to come out harder, more physical, so we need to match that and be a little bit better.
Richie's a guy who's done a lot of waiting for opportunities this season, and I know you've talked about him in the past, but when he's in, what does he sort of bring to a line and a team?
Just a big, hard, strong, physical guy. Obviously, going through the injury that he had early on in the year, it's a tough injury. I've had that one before, and it just takes time to kind of find your game and get it going again. And I think for him, he's contributed a lot, especially the last 10, 12 games of the year, and brought a lot to our team. Energy-wise, emotion-wise, physically, and all that type of stuff. So that's he's a straight line type of player who, like I said, who's hard on pucks, and we gotta need him to continue to be that.
Can you, or maybe Dylan, whomever wants to take this one, can you describe what it's like to have a team that can roll four lines basically all the way through 60 minutes at least? You guys are playing at 5-on-5.
I mean, you look at all the teams that have success and win. They're teams that rely on all four lines and all three pairs. And the way the game is now, it's hard to win with relying on guys to play 20+ minutes, especially up front. So you need to rely on everyone. You need everyone to chip in. So we're gonna need that again tonight. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thanks.